What is going on, guys? We are back with more Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. It is now January 8th, 10 a.m., and we are in District Court. Courtroom number 4, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 5, not 6, not 7, but courtroom number 4. Get ready for some courtroom run-back action. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Gavel! Court is now in session for the trial of Maggie Bird. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Ready and waiting as always, Your Honor. Very good. Then we'll get underway at once. Excuse me. Oh. Yesterday we heard the testimony of Mr. Victor Crudo. He claims to have witnessed the defendant putting a powder into the victim's coffee. However, the witness's testimony was plagued with a number of problems. The mark on the rib in the cup shows that the victim drank from it with his right hand. But according to the old man's testimony, he picked it up with his left hand. Thank you, Mr. Godot. Furthermore, according to the witness's account, the victim was listening to the radio with an earpiece in his left ear. Yet, the victim's left eardrum was ruptured, which made him effectively deaf in that ear. It's amazing how many contradictions a single case can have, huh, Nick? I love the smell of Forger's coffee in the morning. Ha! Allow me to enlighten you, Your Honor. The world, you see, keeps turning, and we must turn with it. Boy, you been smoking weed in my damn courtroom? You been smoking that weed? Don't let the mysteries of yesterday mystify you today. Just do it! And take a sip of coffee. Only losers think like that. You've got to change with the times. That's one of my rules. Are you implying that you've resolved these contradictions? You know the answers to these riddles. The old guy wasn't just throwing seeds in here. He was throwing us off the scent. Coffee. And today I'll prove it. Gavel! Very well, let the first witness take the stand, and if I ever catch anybody smoking weed in my damn courtroom again, I'll smack you with my gavel. Gavel! And you are? I am Armstrong, owner and chef of Tribune. Bruh. Damn, everybody's like, bruh. Forgive me for asking, but are you a boy, girl, boy, girl, boy, girl? As you can see, I am, a pert and perky gentleman. On the day of the incident, you were in Tribune kitchen. Isn't that right? It was you. Huh? Everything feels right. Give me a coffee, damn it. Ha! Wow, he's totally unfazed. Doesn't anything intimidate this guy? You would think he would just like flip out, but he didn't. I guess he's not Edgeworth. Gavel! Very well. Your testimony, please, witness. Okay. Please tell us what happened at Tribune that day. Bloop. Bloop. At Tribune. When it all happened there were only 2 customers in my restaurant. I remember I was experimenting with some new deco, some new art deco. Decorations? Yeah, decorative stuff, yeah. Like having a large mirror between the tables, for example. Perhaps that is what the old man was looking for. The cup, the earpiece, and glasses would have... What? A mirror? We didn't see no damn mirror. Hold up. A mirror? A very large mirror. A very enormous mirror. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And suddenly, the mystery disappears. Along with this cup of coffee. Like I said, the world keeps turning, so roll with it. Gavel! Now then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. At Tribune, When it all happened, there were just two. Hold it! And who were the two customers exactly? Of course, the young man who died, and the other not-so-young man, Victor Kudo, as we all know. You are referring to yesterday's witness, I presume? What about the other man Maggie says she saw at the table? Something tells me Mr. Armstrong isn't planning to disclose his existence. Well, I mean, we seen what happened yesterday, right? The dude literally threatened... He basically made Armstrong attack us, so... we have to assume that El Tigre is threatening... He's basically threatening Armstrong, right? To basically, like, hey man, I'll kill you. I will kill you. I will kill you if you tell them I was there on that day. We need some hard evidence first before we can bring them up, don't we? I guess I'll just have to try a different approach for the time being. I remember I was experimenting with something new. Like having a large mirror between the tables, for example. That's some BS, because if we look at the crime scene, dude, look at the crime photo. A photo of the scene taken from near the kitchen. There's no mirrors. Do you see a mirror in between this table? No. This table? No. Like, fam. And then if we go to the damn... Man, you know what? Let's go ahead and present that. That's obviously the contradiction right there. Dude, there was no mirrors there. Come on, fam. Come on, fam. Ah, well, I jumped the gun. This evidence clearly reveals the contradiction in that statement, Your Honor. How exactly are the evidence in that statement just now related? They aren't, are they? Oh, not at all. Mr. Wright, please think the facts over before making accusations. What the hell? I don't think that won me any points with the judge. You know what? Screw you, Judge. You're just an idiot. Perhaps that is what the old man was looking for. You know what? Let's go ahead and press him on this. How big of a mirror are we talking about here? Something about 4 meters wide and about 2 meters high. Let's see, if 1 meter is about 1 yard, holy glass in a frame, that's huge. I was intending to install it on the ceiling eventually. The ceiling? Was there a mirror on the ceiling? I don't remember. But I decided not to go through with it. You know what, let's press his ass. Yes, we can. Let's press him harder on this. There's something strange about what he's saying here. If you really had such a large mirror in the restaurant, someone would have noticed it. But there's nothing about a mirror in Mr. Kudo or Maggie's Bird's testimonies. But, you didn't extrate. You have only yourself to blame, you. Alright, you only have yourself to blame for such sloppy work. What? The mirror was delivered to Trabian the day before the incident. Really? As Mr. Armstrong testified, he was carrying out some design changes. And as it turned out, he didn't actually use the mirror in the end. This just doesn't add up. Even if a mirror was delivered to Trabian, it doesn't prove that it was in the restaurant on the day of the crime. Ha! If you want to doubt someone, try look in the mirror. I'm sure the person looking back at you will be dubious enough. So the witness yesterday has seen the victim reflected in a mirror. Reflected in a mirror. If everything was reflected in a mirror, that would mean... So let's think about what he said. Victor Kudo, he said he's seen everything on the left side. He's seen everything on the left side. He swear he sees everything on the left side. So if it was a mirror, everything would be on the right side, right? So if everything was on the right side, his earpiece would be on the right side. Even his HMD would be on the right side, right? But that was said to be on his left side, right? So hold on. If we go... Yeah, look at that. It's on his left side. Glenn Elg was a programmer, wore an HMD over his left eye. Left eardrum was ruptured. So if he wore an HMD over his left eye, even Lisa Basil wears one over her left eye. So if everything was on the right side, that would basically also... They're basically saying his HMD was on his right side too, so I don't know where I would want to present that though. A couple of periods in would have seen everything in reverse. So I'm thinking we present his profile right here. If everything was in reverse, then they're saying, even though he died with his earpiece on his left eye, it was somehow on his right eye. Okay, that's gotta be a contradiction. Yeah, that better be a contradiction, fam. The coffee cup, the earpiece, and the HMD. Let's think back over Mr. Kudo's testimony for a second, shall we? The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs. No question, you can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear without a doubt. Okay. So to summarize, we were told both the HMD and the earpiece were on the victim's left side. Now, if Mr. Kudo saw all that as a reflection in a mirror, it means both the HMD and the earpiece were actually on the victim's right side. Exactamente. Now you see what am I talking about, eh? No, no, no. Unfortunately, that's where we run into a monumental contradiction with the facts. If Mr. Kudo really did see everything in a mirror, why is it that his HMD is now on the wrong side of his head? Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Gavel! Order in my court. Mr. Wright is correct. If the witness genuinely observed the victim reflected in the mirror, then we would expect the victim's the eyepiece, not ear, eyepiece to have been on his right eye. Objection, motherfucker. Samuel Jackson. How bitter. Trite, you should have a taste of this bitterness. It'll calm you down in no time. Are we talking about your coffee or something completely different? You don't understand the way the witness thinks. How he thinks? You remember this, I presume? The I broke the vase sorry apology letter? I mean, Mr. Kudo's sworn testimony? Exactly. The old man has one very grievous habit, other than throwing seeds. The more of an impression something makes, the more muddled his mind makes it. And what's the most striking thing about Mr. Elg? Clearly, it's the victim's eyepiece. And that's my point. The old man strikes again. Mr. Elg's HMD made a big impression on the old man. I saw the earpiece and those newfangled spectacles he was wearing. Oh yes, they were both on his left ear. Do you hear? His left ear. They were both on his left ear, huh? Ah! Oh, that's the worst but best impression of Mr. Kudo ever. Wow, I really thought he was old CD for a minute there. Kudo's really good. Gavel! Enough! This is no voice acting class from Funimation. I must agree that yesterday's witness was irresponsibly rash in much of his testimony. Bad luck, Nick. Looks like the boil of a contradiction you found is just a rash. A mirror can't be beaten by a handful of seeds, nor can it lie. So, what exactly was the old man looking at? Fill us in, Mr. Armstrong. Go on, tell the court. We're all ears. I can explain. Please, if you will look at the plans of the restaurant. Oh, no, no. No, no, no. Is everyone sitting comfortably? Yes. The mirror, it was in the middle of the restaurant. There is only one seat from which you could have seen an image of the victim, blah blah blah. There was a seat and a table next to the victim. That was where the old man was sitting. After the terrible incident occurred, I moved the mirror so it was not in the way. But naturally, I did not touch anything else. Fam! You didn't touch anything else, huh? Then why was that poison bottle, you didn't touch nothing else, right? Why was this in your kitchen, fam? Why was his medication in your kitchen? From the table next to the victims, Mr. Kudo could have not seen Mr. Kudo could have seen the victim in the mirror. What a naughty little coquette? Oh my god, shut up! Don't worry about it. We can keep up except for the guy breaking out in a cold sweat over there again. Ugh! I hate that guy! You said you didn't touch anything else apart from the mirror. Are you quite sure about that? Of course. Gavel! Very well. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you please. The mirror. The mirror, it was in the middle of the restaurant, dividing the two halves. Okay. There's only one seat from which you could have seen an image of the victim. That was the seat table next to the victim. That was where the old man was sitting. Where the old man was sitting. There's only one seat from which you could have seen an image of the victim. That seat was at the table next to the victims. Sitting where the old man was sitting. Because he was... You know, let's press him right here. So why can't you only see the victim from this particular seat? It is obvious. If you look at the plans, you will understand. Let's look at it. The victim would have been reflected in the mirror like so. If you were sitting at the table next to him, you would have seen everything. So that's the seat, old seat he was sitting in on that day. And the poisoning happened. The old man was sitting at the table next to the victim. Why does that seem kinda odd? Terrible incident. That does! I think we have to present something here. Because if that's the truth... Boo 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 boo. Let's look at the crime photo. Ah! Look at this! If he was sitting there, that vase would have been knocked off, right? Because he said he broke the vase. But the vase right there is not broke. Okay, I see. If that's, I was like, dude, that doesn't sound right. We went back to the crime photo and look, it's dead proof that if he was sitting there, that vase would be done. So, we gotta present the crime photo. Let's go, fam! I'm tired of your bullshit, Armstrong! This piece of evidence contradicts with the testimony we have heard, Your Honor. The crime photo? Yes, this photo clearly shows something that theoretically should not exist. What on earth do you mean by that, Mr. Wright? Should not exist? Sounds like you're describing yourself, Trite. Oh, hell no. Gavel! Now then, if the defense would please clarify its statement. What is this something that should not exist in this photo? The vase! The vase! Take that! Take it! Take that! I think it's pretty obvious that this is what should not be in the picture. The vase? What possible connection does that have with this witness's testimony? Your Honor, I'm telling you that there should have not been a vase there on that table. Because it very clearly contradicts with this piece of evidence. Well, I have to show something else. Victor's testimony. When the incident occurred, I broke the vase at my seat. I'm sorry. Haha! Take it! There is one thing that was clearly demonstrated by yesterday's testimony. Mr. Kudo broke the vase that was on the table where he was sitting. And yet, as the court can see, there is an unbroken vase on the table next to the victim. Why? Because Mr. Kudo was not, in fact, sitting at the table next to the victim at all! How dare you raise your voice in court, boy! Don't be an idiot, Trite. That's impossible. That she's the only one Kudo could have seen the victim's reflection from. Exactly! There's only one conclusion we can draw from this contradiction. There was no mirror in Traysby Inn that day. Your testimony, Mr. Armstrong, is an elaborate lie. No! Oh my god, oh my god! Objection! Don't try to confuse the court, Trite. Obviously, the witness cleaned up the vase, while the police were taking their time getting to the crime scene. Oh, hell no. Unfortunately, Mr. Godot, that doesn't quite work for me. Mr. Armstrong already testified to the contrary in his own words. I did not touch anything else except the mirror! Coffee! Well, witness, what do you have to say for yourself? I was right. There was no mirror in the restaurant that day. In light of this revelation, we return back to the original problem. Why did the victim have an earpiece in his ear in which he couldn't hear? Ah! You only get one shot in life. There's no turning back. If you want to claim that the mirror wasn't there, Trite, then this problem is all yours. How do you explain what the old man saw? If I can answer this, then I'll be that much closer to the truth. I can feel it. I can feel it. Are you going to be okay? Can you really solve this contradiction, Nick? It's more than just this one contradiction, Maya. What do you mean? Remember what Maggie told us? I love this music. There was another man at the victim's table. There was a sample CD on the victim's table. It all flies in the face of Mr. Kudo's testimony. And I think I know the reason why nothing in this case is adding up. Gavel! Well, Mr. Wright, let's hear your answer. Yes, Your Honor. The reason behind all the contradictions in Mr. Kudo's testimony is simple. We'll find out on the next episode, of course. Ha ha!